Michigan!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Buzz. Joining me, I have Miss USA, Alma Cooper. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I am so excited. I was there. I watched you. It was amazing. The energy was so surreal.
Yes.
I want to take it back to the beginning. How did you find yourself getting interested in pageants in the first place?
Yes. Well, first off, I mean, last night just feels so surreal in and of itself. But how all of this came about is growing up, I would always watch Miss America, Miss USA. I mean, it was the Super Bowl in my household. And so it was on every screen in the house. We would all have buckets of popcorn. We would pick our top 20 before they were announced in the commercial breaks. And my mom competed in pageants when she was younger. She couldn't afford her pageant fees, so she taught dance lessons at a dance studio, and they sponsored her to compete in her preliminary pageants, getting ready for the pageants that she competed in. And I just was so inspired by her story, and I found so much courage and integrity and beauty in the stories of the women who often walk across the Miss USA stage. And I had always dreamed since I was a little girl to just even get the chance to walk the stage. Maybe not even win, but just say that I walked across that stage. And through the opportunity of competing at Miss Michigan USA, winning, and then getting ready to go to the Miss USA stage, I found myself often reflecting on what inspired me to get to this moment. And it really is my family's legacy.
That's so amazing. I love that your mom obviously had her hand in it, and then you were able to go in. And I just think that that's such a great story. It's the fact that you're carrying your mom obviously with you as you continue to go along and as you move.
Yes.
What I find to be extremely interesting about you is you are so well-rounded. And that's something that I really admire a lot, just with women in general, but especially somebody that's obviously now in your position with being Miss USA. Your education is exceptional. I mean, you have Stanford, you have West Point. What is it that keeps you motivated to continue to stay well-rounded? And I mean, how do you go from wearing your boots on the ground and then now you're in a sash? I love that you can do it all.
Well, I think that my job and role as Miss USA is an extension of my service in a uniform. There is so much that West Point has taught me about discipline and integrity and character. And my dad always says, you can have all the nice things you want in the world, you can have all the money in the world, but let no one ever outwork you. And the one thing that I think rings true to me in my story is just the fact that at every milestone, at every trial I have faced, I have found strength in my story and the adversities that I've overcome previously, and the fact that, there is so much beauty in representation. And on that Miss USA stage, the women that stand there show that not only do you deserve to be here, but you belong here, that your stories belong at this seat at the table, and that I'm a firm believer if you can see me, you can be me, and that at any stage in your life, the greatest things in life lie on the other side of fear.
Definitely. Beautifully said.
Thank you.
What does your process of preparation look like for preparing for something like this? I mean, there's so much that's going to go into it, I'm sure, from physical to mental, but how do you prepare for this?
The biggest thing to me is mental. I knew that going into this competition, I was not competing against 50 other amazing women. I was competing in between, between my ears. And for me, that's the mentality going in. I read David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me numerous times throughout this journey and throughout my time just in my life. I mean, I remember reading it before going to West Point, and it really planting the seed in my mind that through callousing your mind and through pushing yourself over triumph and tribulation that you face in life, you will find yourself building a runway towards your dreams and a launch pad towards whatever opportunities you seek out in your life. I think of myself as a multi-passionate individual who is passionate about uplifting the voices of underrepresented and vulnerable communities. And I think that, having that at the forefront of my mind with a servant heart and knowing that my mentality was one of someone with grit and integrity is what has led me to this opportunity, and I'm so grateful.
Definitely. You're very inspiring.
Thank you.
I'm curious to ask you, I just want to jump straight to this moment, honestly, because this was so beautiful to be able to watch. What did it feel like? Obviously, like walk me through yesterday. Like you're progressing on and on. We go from all of these women standing on stage and it goes to top 20, top 10, top 5. What is your mindset as you're finding out that you're just progressing through?
Well, the first thing was that every time you look at a camera with a red light on, it's not just for videotape on the VCR, that is for national television. But I think that, standing there, I stood right next to Louisiana, Sydney Taylor, and we just, during the commercial break, you know, when we had all introduced ourselves and we're getting ready to find out, we just were so excited and just could feel just this beautiful buzz in the air that we had gotten to this point, that we are living out our childhood dreams. I mean, I genuinely cannot think of another time in my life where I have felt so unified with so many women, where every single person on the stage has one common goal: to be a role model for young women, for young people, for future generations, to be leaders in whatever field they're passionate about. That was the common theme on that stage. So that in and of itself gives me goose pimples right now. But I go back, you know, when they came back from commercial break and they started calling young women out, I just was elated. Every time they called a girl out, Colorado, oh my gosh, like, and you could just remember, you know, visualizing it during dress rehearsal, what it would feel like, you know, and hearing the crowd and seeing people shout out for their daughter or their sister or whoever. I mean, I just feel genuine joy for every single person who got to be out on that stage. And when they called Michigan, I was like, that's me. And going out there and seeing my family cheer for me, and then rushing backstage in the buzz of it all to get into swim. When they did swimwear, I was just like, wow, I'm really about to walk. And I thought to myself, you know, this could be my last time walking on the stage. I mean, if I'm cut here, then that would be it. And I just said, you know, soak up every minute of it and leave it all out there. And that was my mentality, that was my prayer. So when they said, Michigan, go, I was like, let's do this thing. But just the serenity of being out on stage, it's the biggest rush of adrenaline. It goes by so fast, but it also, I can remember it clear as day. Just looking out into the audience and seeing so many beautiful faces, my mom, my boyfriend, my mentor, a previous West Point professor. I mean, just so many people who have uplifted me in my journey. The top 5 was insane. I was like, what is even going on right now? And then to be there and standing in the final 2 was just surreal.
Oh my gosh, it was so surreal. I was with my friend. She was my +1. We had each other like in a death grip. We were so invested, but no, it was remarkable to be able to just see you shine. And yes, your strut, the internet has commented on your strut and swim. You rocked that whole routine.
Thank
how you
you.
looked, you were phenomenal.
Thank you.
So beautifully poised. I mean, everybody looked great, but you definitely
thank you so much.
stood out in my opinion, for sure.
Sweet.
I would love to know, obviously, what comes next for you now as Miss USA, and what are you going to do to ensure that you are grounded and present? I know it's going to be a whirlwind of a next year, but what are you going to be doing and putting into practice in order to make sure that you're at your absolute best?
Yes, I think at the forefront of my mind is service, and that this year, I said it when I was crowned Miss Michigan, is bigger than myself. It always has been. And at the forefront of my mind is serving people across the country and across the globe. For me, I'm incredibly passionate about food insecurity in this country. I'm an advocate for Feeding America. 44 million people across the country suffer with food insecurity. And that to me is, you know, I need to be a voice for them, and using this platform for good, to be a difference maker in these spaces and to be a voice for those who often go unheard. 1 in 5 children are food insecure, and my mom was one of those individuals growing up. And to me, it's for, again, advocating and being a leader in this field, because again, if you can see me, you can be me. And coming from humble beginnings and being, you know, a daughter of a migrant worker, I really want to show that whatever circumstances you are going through every adversity you face, you can overcome that, and success is just a hand reach away. So this year is bigger than myself in every way, shape, or form, and I really want to embrace it, lean into it, and just settle into it with a calm serenity in my heart, that through my character and through my servant heart, everything is going to work out, and it will be just the way it should be.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm so excited for
Thank you.
You have so much wonderful, oh my gosh, things to come. I'm so speechless. Well, it was a pleasure getting to speak with you and getting to know you even more. And I just want to say thank you, congratulations, and represent well. You're going to do fantastic.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Hi, my name is Alma Cooper, and I've just been buzzed.